Tell me about your season then, what's happening?
Yeah, it's been good so far. I sort of arrived in mid-April, had a few big scores early, and then sort of gone in waves a little bit, had a few quiet weeks, a couple of big weeks with some good runs and a few wickets. But probably the biggest obstacle has just been the pitches and the conditions and just training as much as I would normally. Probably been a difficult part.
How have you found you obviously moved a bit at home?
Yeah, it's just
like the ball swings and seems a bit.
It swings. Yeah, I think it's.
So you haven't found the moving ball too difficult because in Australia it doesn't move as much as it does here.
Mm-hmm.
But my perception is in New Zealand it does move a fair bit.
Yeah, it hasn't swung much here, but just I felt like the odd ball's done something which you just like. I would never ever be ready for that. I haven't experienced that anywhere else. So 80% of it's probably the same. It's just that little unknown factor which I feel like the pitches offer here.
Yeah.
But it hasn't swung as much as I probably anticipated.
You feel like you're playing well?
Yeah, probably the last couple of weeks not so much, but you had a real good month of June and quite a good start to the season, sort of back end of April. So I'm heading in the right direction with what I'm working on, and I'm sure I'll be ready for next season back in New Zealand.
What are you working on?
Just trying to get a good stable base. I feel like maybe I've got a little bit narrow with my stance, and just trying to be a bit more compact. I sort of got out being a bit loose with my hands early, so just trying to get the hands nice and tight, and just getting a nice stable base.
How have you found the pressure of being an overseas player? Obviously you've played in Darwin, which you just told me about, but over here, a bit of pressure comes with being an overseas player and people expecting things from you. Have you found that?
It hasn't been as bad as I've heard other people experience, but you definitely, when you do have that failure, the next week you do feel a little bit more on you. You're just getting expected to sort of win games and contribute to winning performances. So yeah, it's probably that week after you've had a quiet week is a tough one. But in contrast to that, when you're doing well, you're treated very well as well. So you have your real high moments and you have a couple of low ones, but in general, it's been fantastic with Woodlands, who I'm playing for.
Yeah. What do you want to do? What can I help you with then? How can I try and just want to have a look and see what's going on technically, or?
Yeah, I probably in my younger years I've been quite technical, and I've gone away from that a lot. As I said, at the moment I've sort of had a couple of quiet weeks, and obviously it's important just to trust my game. But I do feel like one or two things might have just sort of snuck in. As I said, I felt like I've been a bit narrow my stance, which has caused me to sort of be a bit sort of falling into the shots rather than engaging the left shoulder. And just a little personal thing, I know sometimes my hands get a bit detached, which also causes me to sort of swing through and almost feel like I'm leaning back because it's too much of an extension.
Yeah.
And just a little thing I've noticed as well is my stance. I like to be sort of probably either side of middle stump, so sort of on the, if you're looking at a normal stump, in your stance, a right edge with the right foot and left edge with the left, and I've just got a bit open with the left.
Too far leg side?
Yeah, left foot sort of opening up, just out of a random habit that crept in, and I've been sort of struggling a bit with my off-stump awareness. Bowled a couple of times leaving and a couple sort of where I thought they were a drive and I've ended up missing them and getting bowled, so just that awareness. But I think that's an easy fix. Just
why do you take that guard? Why?
It's just I've just have it for years. It just feels right. But as I said, just crept in and I've been getting too open with that.
Do you think that getting bowled is because you've gone too open, or?
At the moment, yes, I believe so. And so, excuse me, as I said with my hands, I just feel like they're a bit sort of away from my body.
Without having watched you play, I watched you a little bit in the far net yesterday, but do you ever get LB?
I have in the past, a lot, like ball coming back, and if it's sort of back length ball, sometimes I could probably get forward and I hang on the crease a bit, but front foot generally not much, no.
Well, I'm just thinking like you're obviously a very good player. I don't know if you're unsure where your off stump is and you're sort of getting bowled leaving the ball a few times, I'd be saying bat on off stump. Yeah. And hit everything that's straight. Yeah. And Steve Smith spoke about it the other day. Yeah. Where he's like, I just back myself to hit the ball. Yeah. And if I miss it, so be it, whatever. Mm-hmm. But then it's taking that outside, your eye line outside, it's taking that dismissal out of play sort of thing. Yeah. So like if you're at your absolute best and you're batting on a good wicket and you're on middle off stump, fine. And I used to bat on middle, but now I sort of bat on middle and off stump because I'm like, okay, I get out LB a fair bit, but I'm willing to cop that because I know that I can then let balls go. Maybe that's something you consider. Yeah. And because you've done it for a long time, you might be reluctant to change. Mm-hmm. But maybe even just over this little period where you're like, where's my off stump? Yeah. Suddenly you're on off stump and you're like, okay, I'll get all my weight going down the wicket. Yeah. Make sure that I'm looking to hit everything through there, and anything outside my line is safe. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's something I've done in the past, but the last couple of years I've tried to get more
onto middle, but yeah, maybe it's just something I can play
Just
with.
just a thought. Like, I think most good players should bat on off stump because generally you hit the balls on your legs, whereas it's those sort of balls outside off that good players nick off to or have issues to.
Cool.
So yeah, just a thought. But like you said, like I reckon from just hearing what you said, trusting yourself is key. Like, because when we're low on runs, we start looking for answers and we start inventing things. Start saying, well, that's not quite right. When in actual fact you're doing exactly the same thing 2 weeks ago. But the perception when you've got runs is that everything's great. The perception when you haven't got runs is there's something wrong.
Exactly.
So keep trusting yourself. Like, if you know you're down, so if you're like, well, that's not quite right, you're probably right. But also, you might not be. It might be that your brain's saying, "Where I need an answer to this."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Chuck some. All right. I'm gonna take my time in between balls. Okay. I'm gonna put something back here, and I'm gonna walk around at every ball, so you've got a time to get your routine right. Knock that ball back. I think that's the one that swings, so we'll try and use that ball. My back foot's landing on the front line as well.
Yeah, perfect.
What number are you batting for with this?
3. I sort of always last 4 or 5, and then where I live now, that like, if you want to play, only spot is 3 or open, so I sort of run around that way.
Where'd that pass?
4.5?
Nah, probably 4, I reckon.
Okay. Can I grab off of you, please?
Yep.
And got it off, or almost off.
Happy with that?
Could have got slightly more across I felt, but outside was our side,
Yeah. Middle of the bat, good. I always think you can probably block it fractionally straighter than cover.
Yeah.
If you're blocking a cover, you're slightly back or you're slightly open rather than mid-off and mid-on is the sort of desired error, I reckon. Unless you're doing like what Williamson does and you're really late through the gully.
I had a chat with my first class coach last year and I said to him, I feel like I'm playing a straight bat, it's not going where I want it. And he goes, and then kind of he's been New Zealand batting coach on a few sort of things. He's like, Brad, you don't fucking weird way, but one thing you do well is when you defend the bats using straight, he was a fucking person.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, but he knows who I am and I always say other things and he was trying to, it was a morning game, he was just like, this is the ball. And it was a green top, that's 2 hours, like 40 odds, so he did his job. But like, yeah, I'd like to hit it a bit straighter, but...
Yeah. Sometimes it's just where your body weight is. Sometimes your back can be straight, but your body weight's here. Your top wrist might slightly open and then it goes there. Rather than when you're right there, your top wrist is strong, it will go exactly where you want it to. Because of you.
Yeah, a little bit,
almost say you're far better off, if it was me, if I don't have the luxury to leave balls online and length, I'd be so like on off and just backing myself to hit anything straight, rather than being in the middle and thinking, I can't leave that and having that. Because then you're further away from the ball, you're far more likely to get beaten on that side.
I understand that. That definitely makes sense.
Just use the pace. But that's where you just got to know what your goals are. Your goals are to play first class cricket in New Zealand and beyond. Not to you're still in good habits for good bowling. You don't want to go, okay, I could pinch a 4 by playing some silly hoik, but then you go home, you're like, oh shit, I don't know how to play that anymore.
Good habits.
Good lead. And you look close to it. Fist up and you're looking like you're really close to it. Is that because you're saying, because your foot's not so leg side, it's not now coming across?
Yeah, I just feel like that. I just felt I'm not mind of wait. I didn't really use my feet, I just sort of leaned forward. But my feet are sort of, Like once I've gone across this before, I was like, going there and go, okay, I want to go through one side. I was able to almost go opposite direction to access it.
Yeah, cutting yourself off.
And it was more often than not slicing there.
Well, I was going to say the two keys to that shot was your head went to the ball, and your foot stayed out of the way of the swing. Whereas some of the one or two other leg samples you sort of gone there and had to sort of get around that leg. That one was awesome. That's your blueprint for any leg stump, because same as any leg stump ball, if it's slightly further outside the left eye, outside leg, exactly the same swing, and then you just go with it. But the swing is the same for 80%. That was awesome. Leg was out of the way. Do you then throw yourself off because you've been getting space and release pad and do you should say, okay, I'm going to stay there because it's working? And by coming here you change it? Or do you say, okay, I've got through that issue, this is where I'm going? Suppose it's personal preference, there's no right answer. You might have to just play with it.
I think it's a good scenario based as well. If I have white ball and I'm 20 or 30 and it's middle overs, I'm not going to leave much.
You might
then I'm a red ball and I got the first and trying to hit in the chest. I'm probably just on there, just trying to duck and weave.
Yeah. And just you're experienced enough to work out, I suppose, what your best plan is.
Yeah. So I tried explaining to this guy that Ian that he's literally just he's like a Gurunda Sandu, I mean, like that, but he's just like, could play high level, I mean, Sandu has, but just that good area bowler, and he kept giving me out like just an odd random balls in the pads, so I was like, alright, I went off stump and for an hour I was just all over him, and then sure enough, first ball I could see, just nipped that and hit me. So I don't know, that's a good example where I could have gone back to plan A, but it's hindsight, I guess, because he bought a couple of hours stuff and I hit him on live. I think that cut when he got short because I was all over him.
And I suppose, like, you got to think, like Steve's just, I'll go back to him, he's so good and he's been speaking in media, and he talks about trying to limit the ways you can get out. And by you going off stunt, you're probably limiting getting beaten on the outside for an outside edge, and letting him go and trade. But you're then saying, okay, well, if you hit one back, you're on it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're on middle, you could still get hit back in the other end, and more like the so you're sort of giving him both options.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
So yes, you did, but for an hour, you're on top of him, and in the past, he's had enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you've made progress by having that plan.
Yeah. In proactive, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So and on another day, you might just jam down, get an inside edge, and he doesn't have one that runs back in, and you get 100.
Yeah.
That day it just wasn't the case. Or maybe it was first ball up the tees, you weren't fully switched on again, and if it wasn't first ball up the tee, and he just run on the way, you let it go, then the next ball you've seen you're actually onto it.
Yeah.
So maybe it was a mental thing rather than a plan thing.
I've actually not faced myself, but I did go for a couple of years, 3-4 years ago, almost being like something right on off, and my philosophy was like, I back myself.
And I think most batters, those good batters should play that, because then you can just, like, you can literally let the ball go outside your eye, and then overfinish your drive, and they sort of get too wide, you can cut it or whatever. And when they're straight, you've got to back yourself and hit the ball. As good players, you shouldn't really be hitting the pad very, very often.
Slightly offside play. Press.
All I'd say there is on a slow wicket, you're showing it, like this wicket's not slow, but you're showing me a lot of your leading edge.
Okay.
I'd much rather like that on driving just a little bit longer in the full face, and then you take it early and you like flick your wrist out there, not through here. Because if it just does hold a beat, you're getting a leading edge.
That play in my mind until the place we pitched it, I thought.
It's good batting. It's good batting. The other thing about being on off stump is that ball you hit probably squarer than you would if you're on middle, where there's probably no fielder and you're getting a boundary. You're on middle and you're probably hitting that in front of square to where the fielder probably is. Don't want to bet this ball, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Just as it's about to pitch, it starts to
quite late.
Yeah. And then once again, I was not fully committed and then...
Played it well though. Played it alright, I thought. Looks like, could be wrong, looks like when you defend and when you leave, your footwork's different. So when you're leaving, you're going like shortish step head here.
Yeah.
When you're defending, you're sort of lunging and sort of trying to like get at the ball with a bigger step.
Yeah, I've always been trying to lunge. Yeah.
So, it's just interesting, I'm just giving you that information. I'm not saying right or wrong.
Yeah.
But like you sort of see that it's wide and you sort of get into that position when it's a bit straight and you're going to play it a bit more.
Yeah.
There.
It feels like that.
So maybe saying in winter, or now is winter, but something to think about is trying to sort of get a bit more here when you're defending rather than, like, that's what I believe in. Some people say you try and smother it, get out of it, but I feel like if you get your head and your weight a bit more into it, play it to that slightly later, if it does do something, miss it, and then you're more solid in here, and that's where it's likely to go straight away.
One thing I've noticed at high level top order batsmen, and don't try and score that much, but like I'm in the mindset there's 3 slips of guardian at point and no one. Like that half decent, I mean 2 or 4.
Yeah.
The guys are so like some guy got 40 for 120 on a first class game. I'm like, okay, I might have done a job, but can't resist like scoring that.
If you get a ball to score.
Yeah.
Yes, there's more risk doing that than that.
Yeah.
There's more risk, you're more likely to nick off.
Yeah.
But you've got to have scoring options.
Yeah.
Especially in good level of cricket, they've got to bowl good areas and good spells. When you get an opportunity, you have to take it.
Yeah.
The game's about scoring runs. But you've left really well, mate. Missed the chance there to score.
Yeah.
Everything else has been just fractionally shorter than that.
Yeah, that felt slightly longer. Probably because the other one's a strong attack, I was just a bit.
Yeah, all good.
But no, I'm good about that.
See that one, because it was a fraction shorter, you're a little bit more shorter step, head forward, and it's solid contact exactly where you want it to go. Yeah, because you didn't commit, you're just a bit here.
Yeah.
What's up, that?
What do you think, I reckon?
Yeah, 5, maybe touch wider.
Yeah, hook drawn in.
Yeah. Played it well, but didn't have to play it.
Yeah, best outcome for maybe just
That is a similar ball to when you showed me the leading edge.
Yeah.
That's a much safer shot. I just feel like you kept your full face for longer.
Yeah.
Still went through mid-wicket, rather than that like flick where I could see the leading edge.
Yeah.
Great
It's
shot.
a different proposition. The other one I sort of
Lunge that a little bit.
with that one I was sort of up and I was way to touch longer.
Exactly. Lovely. Good. Trying to draw you into a cover drive. I'll tell you later. Then you're in between the cut and the drive, because cut you need to keep this leg here, give yourself space, and you sort of brought that towards you and you're a bit like... Are you batting with that wider stance at the moment?
Yeah, it's not great, yeah.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
Playing nicely. Very good. Stump?
Sorry?
What stump?
It was down middle.
Yeah, it was middle, yeah. Yeah.
I don't miss out on 2 cuts a season, let alone 1 session. So I'm good with that.
Footwork is better. Last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, that's perfect. Wide.
Is that?
Cam wide on the street.
Yep. Comfortable on the back foot, aren't you?
Yeah, I used to go up until 5-6 years ago by pretty little retreat speed, and I thought, hang on, I'm not going to get anywhere like that long term. So then I went to go more there, and like my strength being that, like probably going to the side arm a little more flexible. I'm probably going to fuck a lot more like there today, but in general, I didn't hang back and try to be.
Yeah, you look good on the back foot.
Thank you.
Yeah, but it's not easy to pick one way or the other. You're doing it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you could have gone forward, but I think you played it fine.
Yes, no, thank you.
Go longer for it.
Nah, I was thinking about that today. I was like, fucking myself some sore shoulders.
Yeah, right. Well done.
Nah, thank you. That was fantastic. That's exactly what I needed.
Great stuff. Playing well. Like the thing that I think is like you're setting your game up for first class cricket in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Not to bat on puddings here
Yeah.
or like average wickets here. So you said to me yesterday, you said to me earlier about you sort of see the licking like you've got to find a way not to. You've got to find a way to go, oh, how good is this going to be? I get to challenge myself. I get to like, if it's a shit wicket, I'm going to fight and try and get an ugly 30.
Yeah.
Or I'm just going to like show run and I can bat on shit wickets. Or find a way to spin it into your favour. But in your practice, you're still practicing to face proper bowling and proper wickets.
Yeah.
And like I said, when that shot, when you bang through there, oh, I can't play that over here. you could get greedy with your runs over here.
Yeah.
So, oh, I could do that.
Yeah.
But then you face against, like you say, like a Ferguson, you're not going to be able to.
Yeah.
That you want to be practicing.
Yeah.
So just keep remembering what your goals are, is to be set up for cricket at home where you're going to earn a living and making a career.
Yeah.
Not by saying, okay, well, if I back away and do that, I can get a late cut for 4 against Pudsey.
Yeah.
Whereas you're doing this in your practice and saying, okay, I'm not scoring runs in games from it, but I know it's going to hold me in good stead on it.
Yes.
Because you're playing beautifully.
Cheers, thank you.
But like I said at the start, trust yourself. Because, that slight change might make you feel better, but there's not all these other things going on.
Yeah.
And they're probably always going on, even when you are scoring runs.
Yeah.
But we're always looking for an answer when we're not.
Cool. That's fantastic.
Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Hey vlog, just finished a great session with New Zealand first class player Brad Schmulian. Hopefully I've said that right. Plays for Central Districts in New Zealand, scored a double 100 on debut. Very, very good player, and another user of Grove, the great cricket gear. I'm sweating, it was tough work trying to get him out, but don't think I did it all. But how did you find that, mate?
No, it's fantastic. Thanks, Tom's worked on a few basic things. You're definitely feeling better off for the session. Cheers, mate.
Excellent, excellent. So I'm going to publish that video as its own piece of content. I videoed the whole session. So it was really good quality. I love working with guys like Brad who are high level players. So excellent to see him play and get to know him a bit as well. So cheers.